The world is hyper competitive. If you're going to be a man who's going to sit and say, I'm just sad, you are always going to lose in competition to men like me. Yeah. And there has to be losers for there to be winners. I am tired of sympathy. Sympathy doesn't work for anybody. I'm not going to sit here and be sympathetic for people who say they're too sad to try hard and be their best. Guess what? Perhaps I was sad every time I did exactly what I was supposed to do and trained anyway. Perhaps I was afraid when I fought anyway. Perhaps I was tired when I worked anyway. This is how you get ahead in life. I don't have a fucking ounce of sympathy for these people who sit here and say, well, I feel this way, so I can't. Then don't do it. Stay down there. The winners are at the top, and the winners at the top don't give a shit about how they feel. We wake up and we perform regardless of how we feel day after day. So if I'm going to ignore my own feelings, I'm certainly not going to take into consideration anybody else's. Yeah. Why am I going to ignore how I feel and make sure I'm constantly performing regardless, flawlessly, and then sit and go, oh, but he doesn't feel good, so he's allowed to fuck up. No, you are not. You're not allowed to fuck up to your ancestors or to God or to yourself. You have to perform. This is what being a man is about. The baseline of masculinity is doing things you don't feel like doing. I can't comment on being a woman because I'm not one. But the baseline of masculinity as a whole is the thing that makes a good man is that he does what he doesn't want to do. He doesn't want to work and he works anyway. He doesn't want to go to war and he fights anyway. He doesn't want to get up, he gets up anyway. That's the whole point of it. We didn't want to die in the Titanic. Guess what happened? We died in the Titanic. You can't sit there as a man and say you don't feel like it. You're not allowed to not feel like it. You're supposed to do it anyway, regardless. Yeah. So when a man sits there and says, oh, but you don't understand, I'm struggling with motivation. If you are struggling with the motivation to be a winner, then stay a fucking loser. No problem. Stay a loser. Don't care. Yeah, I mean, trauma is extremely important. And this actually goes back into answering the first part of your question, which is interesting. There's a study I read about stress. And it was saying that stress has a placebo effect attached to it because the placebo effect is extremely powerful. So they found some of the most stressed people in the world and they split them into two groups. And they're all equally stressed. They all have a bunch of cortisol in their blood. Yeah. The people who believed that stress was bad for you and that stress can hurt you, and they believed those media articles, were dying earlier. They were having heart attacks and having stress-related illnesses. The people who believed the opposite, who just said, stress is part of being successful, I like stress, when I feel stressed, I do my best, it makes me anxious, it turns my brain on, I like being stressed, lived longer than average. Yeah. The point is, the same drug, how you look at it and how your body anticipates it, how you feel about it, affects the real world results. Which goes back into what you were saying earlier about the jealousy. You're saying people look on social media and they get jealous and it demotivates them. That's because they decide to be demotivated by it. Do you know what happens when I get jealous of somebody? I fucking beat them. Yeah. If I look at somebody who has something I ain't got, I will take it from them by hook or by crook.
Well, when I watch other people on social media and I see someone killing it, like whoever it is, someone, that fires me the fuck up.
I love it. I wish someone could make me jealous. It's hard now. I got everything. I wish I could look at somebody and go, fuck her. I'm gonna beat you. It's not about detaching yourself from your emotions. I feel every single emotion. It's just about using them all in a positive direction. Yeah. If I feel extremely happy and excited, I'm going to use that as motivation or energy to do amazing things and do good and work hard. If I feel absolutely depressed and distraught, I'm going to use that as endless energy and motivation to do amazing things and work hard. It doesn't matter what you give me. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be converted and transferred. It doesn't matter what fuel you give me. If you give me diesel, petrol, kerosene, vodka, doesn't matter what you put inside of my engine.
Hard work is going to come out.
Absolutely. That's all I know how to do. Yeah. That's all I know how to do. It doesn't matter what fuel you put in my engine. My engine only knows how to do one thing, and that is succeed. That's all I know how to do. Yeah. So it doesn't matter what you feed me with. I'm going to be massively successful regardless. It doesn't change.
Yeah.
That discomfort that you just described has led to a massive positivity in your life. Absolutely. I can say the absolute same thing for fighting. I decided to go out and learn to fight to the level I learned to fight because I had a couple fights in school and I won them, but it was kind of close, and I was like, that was too close for comfort. And I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna go learn to fight. And it's absolutely often discomfort and trauma and bad things that'll motivate you to go and do the most amazing things. Like we said earlier, you have to take the negativity and use it in a positive manner. Like we said about stress, it can go in different directions. I'll tell you right now, if you were to say to me, Andrew, you have to make double the money you're currently making, what's the number one emotion you want to feel to do it? I'd say heartbreak.
Stress?
Break my heart. Break my heart. I can't sleep. I'm furious. Break my heart and I'll make a fucking $1 billion. Take all the negativity and turn it into positivity. So that trauma and all those bad things that happen to you can be very, very positive things and give you a positive aspect on life if you approach it in the right way. Most people are told, when you feel sad, sit at home, be sad, it's not your fault, you've got a disease, you're depressed, be a bitch about it. I argue the opposite. I say, when you feel sad, good, take all that energy and convert it into something that's going to be a positive force for your life.
Would you say that even we're also taught to like stuff it away and not not actually think about it, not actually go through it, not actually process it?
Not embrace it and feel it. You should feel all of your emotions. If I feel sad, I embrace it and I feel it. I'll tell you right now, the largest monumental jumps in my life in terms of success is when I was pissed off or sad.
Yeah, I mean, bro, like I could tell you, like all the time I spent in the gym to build myself, I was using that stress, I was using that trauma to make myself better.
Completely.
And that's what made me who I am today.
Absolutely.
But
all the bad things that happen to you and make you feel in a bad way, some of those bad things that made me feel in a bad way were the most important energy sources for the most monumental jumps in my life. My biggest achievement.